mayoral candidate, Susan Fedorca.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you for being here. It's a Saturday afternoon, and I'm sure there's other places you might want to be. I am wearing purple today to acknowledge the communities and individuals who support children who are in trouble, and it takes a community to make things work and make people feel welcome. I won't tell you about my past too much, other than to tell you that during the last 2 years, when we were experiencing a bit of a shutdown, I went back to school because I love to learn. I'd like to say I went to Berkeley, but I didn't. I actually took a 13-week course from Berkeley on community development. And as with all things, there are pillars and there's theory and there's things that they want to teach you and talk about. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I augmented that with attending at least a dozen or more webinars put on by the Globe and Mail with respect to health. That covered areas such as AI, things like my chart, which we have in our community, and the use of pharmacists more in the healthcare situation. It's important to be up to date on what's happening in other communities. One of the questions we had at one of the wards is, what would you do if you paired with another community? We can learn from other people. There's no sense in reinventing the wheel. I also took a certificate program, and this is always a dead stopper, on grief counseling. What it taught me was to do is listen. People who are in grief do not want to hear what I have to say. They want to talk to you. And finally, I am the representative for Trent Hills on the Ontario Health Team, Northumberland. I sit on 2 committees that are very important to me. The first is the Rural Outreach Clinic, and I've had the privilege of being there and seeing what they've done. And I think we need to bring some of these to our community. And I'm also supporting the paramedicine program. It is something that, again, will bring healthcare to you in your home if you need it. So I'm just telling you that I'm here, I'm listening, I've been outdoor knocking, my voice is getting raspy, and I've heard what you have to say, and I'm going to stay here in this community for the rest of my life, and I hope that you will respect my decision to run, and I hope I can ask for your vote for the next 4 years to take our community into the future with a new perspective, respecting all that has gone before us, and hoping for the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Next we'll have another candidate for mayor, Bob Crate.
Thanks, Nancy. Thanks to the Chamber for sponsoring this. It's important that you're here today because you're going to pick the people that are going to run Trent Hills for the next 4 years. And I hear a lot of times that people say we don't have a voice, but you do have a voice by voting. If you vote for the people that you want to have on the council, you will be able to approach them when you have a problem, and it's their job to solve that problem for you. So I ask that you make sure you vote. I've enjoyed my last 4 years as your mayor. There have been challenges, but our municipality, between the council and the staff, have worked very hard to make Trent Hills a thriving community. And I ask for your vote, and I thank you for being here.
Thank you, Bob. Next up, we have our candidates for deputy mayor, starting with Mike Metcalf.
Well, there's more people here than when I sat down. Thanks everyone for coming. I feel like I should send a card to the Chamber of Commerce after the 4th time of thanking them. But thanks to the Chamber of Commerce. My name is Mike Metcalf, and I'll be running to represent you as Trent Hills Deputy Mayor. Once again, I'm going to take you back to 1976 when I was born and raised on a dairy, cash crop, and poultry farm in neighboring municipality of Clarington. which led me to a degree in Honours Agricultural Science from the Ontario Agricultural College and the University of Guelph. Go Aggies! Yes! Spent the last 14 years doing business here in Trent Hills along the shores of the Trent River at Lock 18 in Hastings. Over that span of time, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of great people as we developed 4 businesses within the village. Through the development of those businesses, I've had the opportunity to work with municipal and county officials and staff, as well as agencies such as Parks Canada, Northumberland and regional tourism organizations, and business and entrepreneur groups to gain a knowledge of municipal economics, tourism and trade, business development, planning, and building. As a member of Municipal Council, my role is a representative. My role is policy making. My role is policy advising. My role is stewardship. All of these attributes require bringing views, comments, concerns, and finding facts when making council decisions, setting a policy framework for operational success, directive to advise on policy initiatives, and most importantly, demonstrating care, accountability, equality, and inclusion. The importance of advocacy. Advocacy is about direct action. Thompson Bridge to be closed by Northumberland County, and we advocated. I worked with the municipal team to advocate and got compromise that both the county and Trent Hills can work with. Pedestrian crossings. I advocated for the safe crossing of Bridge Street South for what seemed like forever. And 2 crossings for safe pedestrians are going in place. The future of Trent Hills needs to include continual infrastructure planning and renewal, circular economics, smart, responsible commercial and residential growth, continued active transportation systems, economic engagement, community engagement, development, and tourism growth. Many of these points fall into a strong and robust asset management plan. We need to keep that up. That's our future and our plan. That has been and will be important priorities for me to keep Trent Hills going forward in the future. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Mike. The next candidate for Deputy Mayor is Bill Reid.
Thank you to the Chamber. Thank you all for being here. Where do I start? I've been coming to Trent Hills for 20 years now. My youngest sister moved here over 20 years to raise her family. And we've been coming ever since. 10 years after that, 2 more sisters moved out here, and they all love it. Over the time coming here, I fell in love with the place and knew that when I had the opportunity to retire and leave the city, this is where I was going to come, and we're here. My wife and I agreed on this a long time ago, and we couldn't wait. I don't have experience on council, but I do have a skill set that I think would be of service. I spent 40 years as a designer in the advertising business. I've worked in some of the largest brands and accounts, you know, Apple, Coca-Cola, General Motors, and so on. These are big businesses, and they expect results. It's a collaborative business where people need to work together to solve problems in order to help clients achieve their goals. That's what we need in council. I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid of hard work. I've worked hard my whole life, and I take pride in that. I'm often asked, why run for deputy mayor instead of council? And I like the idea that I could be a roaming councillor serving all of Trent Hills. Now more than ever, I think it's important we pull together and work to better our whole community. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. So I'll ask the Deputy Mayor and mayoral candidates to take their places at the table, please.